Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now, this will be your waxing moon reading. A little bit late, I'm sorry, obviously Mercury retrograde hit me and also one of my cameras is out of operation. So there is no shuffle video, it's just going to be a photo that will be up in that corner of the reading, or possibly two photos if any clarification cards need to come out. Now, what we're looking at is what to increase with the light of the waxing moon. Now, like I say, it's late, but it's covering a 2-week period, so hey ho. Now, the reading either is for you or it isn't. There's not a lot of past, but there's quite a bit of present. So if the present doesn't fit, have a look at your rising. Well, especially have a look at your rising sign. In ancient astrology, your rising sign was considered far more important than your sun sign. But yeah, look at your sun, your moon, your rising, at the Venus and Mars, if you're into it, though, although your Mars is in Capricorn right now. Whatever happens, Mars is in Capricorn right now, and there will be some readings this week, either with or without a working second camera, to talk about that. There'll also be a timestamp down below so that you can get past all of my waffle if you're watching more than one reading. And I do say I watch more than one because it's well worth getting a more complete picture. But as I say, it's what to increase with the light of the waxing moon. All the other details about the reading are down there in the description. Let me bring up the cards. Okay, Virgo, you are definitely setting out your own territory right now, but it's not necessarily as clear cut as what you think, but you must keep forging ahead. We have the Emperor clarified by the Moon card. So there is that element of, yes, keep forging ahead. Not everything is going to come clear immediately, but there seems to be two things going on. One, you have lots of options coming up. You must take one of them. Do not prevaricate, do not prognosticate, do not put it off. Those options, you need to find the one that... Actually, you need to find the one that initially seems the most confusing and really study that and look into that, because along the top row, we have the Seven of Cups clarified by the Seven of Cups, leading on to victory with the Six of Wands, and then some form of mental debate with the Five of Wands. But I feel that this is a really, really healthy challenge. This is a man running forward into a stampede of, a stampede of foxes, and there's at least one hare there that I can see. I think it might be the only one. If you see what I mean. Whereas I got this in a reading earlier today, and I was immediately thought of the kitsune, but here, the tricksters. But I feel like the foxes are hurtling to meet this person, to celebrate the arrival of this person, to celebrate the passage and the passing of this person. They're still making life difficult by getting in the way, and he could trip over if he trips over one of them and fall flat on his face any second. But they're coming from a good place. They've just come from where you are heading to. We have the Six of Wands, and we have the Six of Wands clarifying the middle future card. So, which unfortunately is the Five of Pentacles. So there's that sense of lack and of poverty. But to be quite honest, that's not what I'm getting from it here. I'm getting that sense of assistance and that sense of divine power with the sunlight coming down through the glass window. It's interesting that she's holding a... is she holding... Yeah, she's holding a small child. Because from the Akashic Tarot, you've got Five of Roses with the garden. Now, this is all about children. This is very much about listening to children, paying attention to the children in your life and good things happening for the children in your life, that they are bringing you good stuff and you are bringing them good stuff. But you're only going to be bringing them good stuff if you push forward the masculine. And bear in mind that lunar gods rather than lunar goddesses are quite a rare thing. So for me, it's always an event when this card turns up. You do need to push forward and trust. Take one of the options that are offered to you, possibly the most confusing option, but I honestly feel that there's two things going on. There's, with you defining your territory, defining your sphere of influence, there's numerous options. You must take one of them. But along this bottom row, we've got the hanged man, well, the hanging man in this one with the Empress. So everything looks different. Everything looks like it's upside down. It's not moving as fast as what you would like, but that's in the middle of a divine pairing between the Emperor and the Empress. Go for the more confusing option. Go for the option that means more to think about and has more financial risk to it, maybe, with this Five of Pentacles, or greater financial cost, because you have these two Six of Wands and, of course, the Parade of Foxes. Because the Parade of Foxes also, I want to focus on their quality of cunning, of their ability to always seek out food. You know, that's what they do. They seek out food. If you think about the inner city fox that we have here in Britain, that should be living out in the fields, but no, it's adapted quite nicely to life in the cities and has lasted quite well. But along this bottom here, now this is a bit of a weird one. We have, on the final track, we have the Nine of Swords. Now, this is why I said you must take one of these options, because it is on the opposing track to one of those options, and that top track ends in victory, as does the middle one. But it is also clarified by the Two of Pentacles. So with this divine pairing, I think maybe if you're in a relationship, there's a custody issue going on. And the person you're in the relationship with is not the co-parent. So that's not going to resolve itself like that. Not in a long chalk. But you have to trust that the teaming of the two of you will create the balance so that you can put pay to this anxiety. It feels like there is anxiety that you are going to face, but there's also answers. There's this tiny little owl. Let me bring this closer to the camera so it doesn't reflect. There's a tiny little owl just here, there. And it's almost like, what was he called in the Clash of the Titans? Hooty. You know, but Athene's owl. There is wisdom by experiencing the pain. There is wisdom by letting the situation play out at its normal rate so that the options become clear, and that a form of unity, Emperor and Empress here, can come about. That unity might not be there right now, but that unity will come about by you declaring what your territory is and how you are moving forward with both of these Seven of Cups cards. Because the despite the two Six of Wands cards we've got here, the Victory Parade, we have the Goddess supporting you, Nike with victory. But however your plan was going, adjustments are required. You need to change it slightly. And what I think you need to change is that you need to start pushing forward. No, you don't know all the answers yet. So what? Nobody ever does. It is time for you to move forward, because it is time for you to tend your garden. So whether that's to do with children or not, it is time for you to examine everything that's going on around you, even if it's not making sense, because it's only by taking one of these options, quite possibly the one that's the most confusing and the one that has the most financial risk to it. But that way, you are going to find victory. What you can't do is the same thing as you have always done. You can't just do it again and again and again and again and hope for a different result this time, because it is time for change. It is time to move forward. So I hope that means something to you, Virgo. If it does, please do comment down below. Press subscribe while you're there. Your next reading will be your full moon read. No, it won't. Your next reading will be your monthlies, but your next lunar reading will be the full moon reading. And at some point, there will be Mars transit Capricorn, because I've missed ingress, but it's a 6-week period. And the fact that Mars passed the eclipse point last Sunday from the Christmas eclipse. So, that's worth looking at. That eclipse tale is going to keep playing out. So that's it. All you've got to do is keep pushing forward and take one of these options. Cheers.